Welcome to Perchance to Read for a review of The Bench by Megan, the Duchess of Sussex. Let's get to it. Super quick, it really helps the channel if you hang in for as long as you can and like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it, and as always, please find a link to the book in the description. Way back in the day, I pre-ordered The Bench and read it like a day after it was released when it arrived in my package concierge at home, and I loved it. I didn't have this channel at the time, but the release of Prince Harry's memoir Spare took me back in time and got me thinking about The Bench again. Why? Because The Bench achieves such warm inclusion with its charming illustrations and images of diversity, and since the Duchess watching her husband and her son sitting and talking together on a bench outside their home inspired this beautiful book, I recalled that when I read The Bench, the book reminded me at the time of a photo of Prince Harry I had seen of him in New Zealand that displayed his comfort in cultures not overtly his own. I thought as I read The Bench and saw the expanse of diversity it celebrates, wow, I can easily see how the person I recalled in the New Zealand photo could inspire this book. The release of Spare brought it all back and even inspired me to do this review. But Prince Harry doesn't overshadow Duchess Meghan's story or her author's vision. In fact, it's clearly written from her perspective, which is a beautifully broad one. As I wrote in a different review right after I read the book, specifically about people who criticized the book for being too serious and quote-unquote not a children's book, there are many wonderful children's books out there about kids working through some of life's toughest hurdles, with the deep issues making a regular appearance in children's books, with the idea being that it helps kids to cope to read about serious issues depicted in children's books. So people who say that an upbeat, uplifting book about fathers and sons is not a children's book because it's not about little animals romping around or kids on a playground must not have read many children's books. But if you need lessons in children's books, the inclusion depicted in the rich illustrations in The Bench is very instructive. It teaches children about households that don't look like theirs and recognizes ones that do. And I think any parent who sits down to read this book with their child will be teaching them the important role fathers play and reinforcing that dads care, and that if their family dynamic and household includes a dad or dads, their own dad or dads care. Of course, we assume they're learning that from dad, but how lovely to see it normalized in a mainstream children's book. More of that, please. And no spoilers, but there is a nice touch about men being able to say out loud that they love their children. The overall feel is heartwarming and uplifting. The book is also wonderfully big. Anyone who's read to a child knows that big, colorful books are themselves a huge delight for kids at reading time. The text is minimal, but the shorter passages are longer than those in Goodnight Moon, a legendary classic. Smaller children love short passages that they can memorize with their parents if the book is read multiple times. So again, the book is instructive in that it's digestible for young readers and small children and teaches an appreciation for reading. Beyond that, because my own family is a beautiful mixed ethnic bag, I loved how much this book makes people, kids, dads, and moms, feel seen. Not just in their familial roles, but as people. I wish The Bench had been around when my multiracial son was a little guy. There's no other way to say it. The Bench is a delightful read. Check it out, even if just for yourself. You're never too old to read a good book. One more time, a link to the book is in the description, and please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for hanging in.